Coming up today on InfoSuperstar, what's the connection between a dinosaur, a VHS tape, a spreadsheet, and a story about how I stole something? Hi, I'm Andy from InfoSuperstar. This is a Tyrannosaurus Rex, one of the most fearsome creatures ever to walk the earth. But today, it walks the earth no more. It is extinct. It is gone. It is no more. This, for those of you who remember back far enough, is a VHS tape. Yes, I can still find one of these in my cupboard because I'm rubbish at throwing things away, but to all intents and purposes, it is also extinct. We're going to skip past the third item on my list, the spreadsheet, because I want to tell you about a guilty secret from my past. Yes, indeed, I once stole something. Now, before you call the police, it wasn't really a criminal offence, but, well, maybe I was a little bit naughty. So let's go back to the time when I worked for a chemicals company. My friend Steve and I, Steve, I'm going to tag you in the post below, because we were really important accountant type people, we had a PC. Not two PCs, one PC between the two of us. We had the opportunity to play with spreadsheets all day long to our heart's delight and occasionally get some work done. Now, we had a boss who was a little bit old-fashioned. So old-fashioned, in fact, that he didn't have a PC. He had a pencil, a piece of paper and a telephone. And when he wanted to speak to us, he'd pick up his telephone and ask us to come to his office. He had no choice but to move to the modern world because the business decided that we were going to install a network and everyone would have access to email, this massively important new tool. And so my boss got a PC in his office. My boss now had access to email because he had a computer. But my boss also had a secretary, a personal assistant. And what he would actually do before he got his computer, he would get his secretary to print off his emails. He would then write in pencil on the bottom of that email printout what he wanted to say in reply. He would give this back to his secretary. She would type this up and she would send this off in the email on his behalf. Now, about 6 months after he got his computer, very sadly, my boss died suddenly of a heart attack. This is a true story. And you know, we had very, very difficult and strange emotions at that time. We mourned and we grieved over the loss of our boss, but equally, well, let's just say Steve and I had an eye on his PC. It was quite shiny and new, and we had one between the two of us, so we left it a suitable period of time, I'll let you guess how long, before we checked the coast was clear, and there being no sign of a new boss being appointed, Steve and we crept into his office late one afternoon, checking that we could get away with it. We took his PC out of his office and put it in our own. Now, that in itself is a guilty admission. It's not really a bad story because we were serving the business's need by having another PC. However, what we did notice was that when we switched this PC on, it had one of those old-fashioned big CRT monitors, you know, the type like the old TV with the big tubes. And on the front of this monitor, it had a special sticker that indicated this was an energy-saving monitor. It was the kind of thing that wouldn't burn down the planet. But the energy-saving sticker was right in the top corner, just up there. Now, anybody who's used Windows will know that you close programs by clicking in the top right hand corner. So when there's a big sticker stuck over that corner, the first thing you're going to do as soon as you switch this computer on is to peel the sticker off. But this monitor still had a sticker on it. So that means that actually our boss, the old-fashioned dinosaur boss, who got his emails done by his secretary rather than doing himself, had never actually switched this shiny PC on in 6 months. Whoa. So, the moral of this story is, not you should steal things, but the moral of this story is maybe technology and world moves on, and if you're a bit of a dinosaur, you're likely to get left behind and maybe be extinct. So what does this have to do with the spreadsheet, the third item on my list? Well, last week I attended a webinar run by the Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales. This was about the future of accountancy, the future of information in business, and it covered all kinds of subjects like artificial intelligence, blockchain, cybersecurity. But curiously enough, it didn't cover the mainstay issue of many accountants' daily work, the spreadsheet. Now maybe it's like the spreadsheet is about to become, just like the VHS tape, just like the dinosaur, and indeed just like my poor old boss. It could become extinct. It could become a thing that is only consigned to the history books. Do you remember Lotus 123? Do you remember Excel, they'll say, in 15 years' time? Well, maybe this is a prediction that might come true or might not come true. But if you and I do not move with the times, understand which tools are there to be used and which business methods require which applications, we could be in danger of being like my boss, with his pencil and paper and not using email. We could be like the VHS tape, that's state of the art for a while, and we ourselves, like my boss, could be consigned to the history books. So the conclusion of this week's story is a call to action. If you let your skills stagnate, then they will become extinct. Spreadsheets are useful and fantastic tools, but other technologies are emerging and you need to be able to exploit them. Therefore, don't be a spreadsheet dinosaur. My challenge to you this week is to identify one area of technical skill that's not directly related to a spreadsheet and commit yourself to learning it. Go away and learn it, or just post a comment below and I'll try and put some content together to help you to learn that non-spreadsheet skill. I'm Andy Biggs. This is InfoSuperstar.com. Adios amigos.